vast arc of Avatar, The Last Airbender, much of the narrative energy is driven by destiny, conflict, and the looming weight of war. Yet, in the episode The Tales of Ba Sing Se, the series pauses. It sheds the armor of epic storytelling and invites us into stillness. What emerges is not a tale of battles, won or lost, but of people, flawed, hopeful, grieving, living within the folds of ordinary life. The episode is sometimes dismissed as filler, a detour from the central plot, but its quietness is its brilliance. Each tale becomes a window into the characters' inner lives, moments where the noise of war fades and something more fragile takes place. Toph and Katara find themselves at a spa, a place Toph resists at first. She doesn't need pampering, she insists. Her healthy coating of earth was all she wanted. Yet, once the treatment begins, she relaxes, laughing, letting herself enjoy the comfort. That comfort, however, is shattered when a group of stereotypical mean girls mock her appearance. Their words pierce right through her, and we see Toph crack in a way she rarely allows. It's Katara who steadies her, reminding her that strength isn't just about stone walls and hardening one's heart. It's about letting others stand beside you when the world tries to make you feel small. I won't pretend to be holier than thou, because I was absolutely grinning from ear to ear when Toph and Katara put the girls in their place.
Now that was funny.
Zuko's tale takes him somewhere unexpected, on a date with a girl named Jin. At first he's stiff and awkward, unable to relax under the weight of his own history.
Excuse me, sir. Would you and your girlfriend care for dessert? She is not my girlfriend!
But as the evening unfolds, he softens a bit. He shows her small pieces of who he might have been in another life, one unburdened by exile and expectation. There's even a moment of warmth, a kiss that leaves him conflicted but undeniably changed.
It was nice.
His story is a glimpse of Zuko, not as the scarred prince or the banished son, but as a young man learning how to be vulnerable, if only for a moment. Even the lighter stories carry weight. When Sokka ends up wandering into a poetry club by accident, he can't resist the challenge of showing off a bit.
I'm always right back at you, like my boomerang.
His clever rhymes are sharp at first, but soon his bravado betrays him. He breaks the rhythm, loses the flow, and is promptly kicked out for his lack of discipline.
That's one too many syllables there, bub.
It's silly and lighthearted, but it captures something essential about Sokka. His quick mind, his competitiveness, and his tendency to charge in headfirst, even when he doesn't quite belong. Aang's vignette shows him stumbling across a struggling zookeeper, desperate to care for animals who no longer have the space they need. Where another person might walk away, Aang instead unleashes his playful creativity. He gathers the animals, corralling them with his bending, and leads them joyfully into a new home within the city walls. The sequence is whimsical and fun, full of noise and color, but it's also quite a powerful scene. Aang, the Avatar, doesn't solve this problem by force or authority. He solves it by kindness and imagination. By presenting all these different vignettes, moments of insecurity, sweetness, comedy, playfulness, quiet grief, the show strips away the mythic scale and reveals its characters as vulnerable souls. They're no longer just players in the grand machinery of war. They're just human beings who we might know, love, or even be. The heart of the episode beats most audibly in Iroh's tale. In a city bustling with noise and life, he spends the day moving quietly among strangers, offering them something they didn't know they needed. He soothes a crying child with a simple song, even disarms a would-be mugger.
No one has ever believed in me.
While it is always best to believe in oneself, a little help from others can be a great blessing.
Each gesture is small, almost invisible, yet they gather weight, like drops of water filling a cup, until we realize we've been watching a portrait of Iroh's philosophy unfold. His wisdom is not abstract, it's lived in these soft, everyday mercies. The day culminates in a moment that strips away the gentle warmth and reveals the wounds beneath. Iroh climbs a quiet hill, unfurls a small bundle, and builds a shrine to his fallen son, Blue 10. He sets the flowers and begins to sing Leaves from the Vine.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow.
The melody is simple, the lyrics are few, but the tremor in his voice carries more pain than words could ever hold. What begins as a series of generous acts for others turns inward into a devastating intimacy, a father mourning the child he couldn't save. Here, the show asks us not to marvel at bending or heroics, but to sit with sorrow, to understand that grief lingers even in those who seem unshakable. It's one of the most vulnerable human moments in the entire series, and because of that vulnerability, it resonates beyond the boundaries of fiction. The scene has a 90% success rate of making me cry manly tears every time this episode comes on. Every other story in this episode slows the pace, Katara comforts Toph not through bending, but through companionship. Aang's childlike playfulness gives sanctuary to neglected animals. Sokka's arrogance is humbled in a poetry contest. Even Momo, silent and searching, embodies longing for a lost friend. In each, the extraordinary characters are made achingly ordinary, and so we draw closer to them. The Tales of Ba Sing Se demonstrates that true character depth is not forged only in moments of triumph or conflict, but in pauses. Those instants of fragility where we glimpse the unguarded self. In choosing to slow the march of the story, the creators of Avatar allow us to fall in love with the people at his heart, not merely the plot that carries them forward. Far from being filler, this episode is a gift. A reminder that resonance in storytelling is born not in spectacle, but in the quiet act of witnessing.